Hello, hello, and welcome back to Happiness by Habit. I am very excited today. I have a very special guest, Robert Beaujean, empowerment coach. Welcome to the show, Robert.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Wonderful, wonderful. Tell us a little bit more about what you do. What does empowerment coach means?
Well, I help people to empower them, through education, to coaching, to make better financial decisions, so that they can then go on to live their full life and live their dream life with high confidence.
That's a good summary and a powerful promise. What does that mean for a person? Like, because that's very critical. The financial component in somebody's life is very important, and I am afraid so many people don't pay attention that it deserves. So, what do you help them with specifically?
Right. Well, it's like anything, how we define success really is by our habits.
Hmm?
So it's really about defining new habits, finding where you're holding yourself back, and then creating new habits that will propel you forward.
I love the habits thing because the name of this podcast is Happiness by Habits. So
Right.
we typically cover happy habits, but we are going to talk about, I would love to elaborate a little bit more in the habits that make you happy financially.
Right, right. Well, really, I mean, when you do these good financial decisions, really, it really comes back to the same thing, confidence. Because
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times you've been exposed to maybe negative or disempowering financial situations that then hold you back. You don't have that same belief. So it's a lot about your financial confidence is driven by the same thing that any other confidence is driven by. Right. So you have to learn to focus, really start with focus. What am I focused on? I focus on, what could go wrong or what could go right.
Oh, yeah,
So that
that's
really,
right. What you focus on expands, they say, right? So if we focus on what can go right, that's a much better mindset that will help you achieve better things.
right. A lot of times people won't do something financially because they're afraid that it's going to go wrong. Right. But you have to look at all the angles and see what can go right. And then what's the different cost? What does it cost me if it goes wrong versus what goes right?
Or
What
even
is the benefit?
further, what can I do to make it go right? Maybe I'll,
Exactly. Which is actually the second step, which is taking action.
okay.
Because once you evaluate what can go right and you start getting more creative, and then you find solutions, but then one thing is deciding to do it, and the other thing is to actually do it. You have to follow it up with action. And then the third step that I teach is empowerment beliefs. Because once you're taking action, you're going to run into obstacles and challenges, and that might start to test you again. So you have to be constantly empowering yourself because you have great potential to do great things. If you let yourself be creative, you let yourself go out there and just take a chance and learn that you can learn from your mistakes. If thing goes wrong, you sit there and go, okay, what went wrong? What can I learn? How can I improve so I can keep trying again? That's what it's all about. So it really is, it's those 2 steps. Right? First, being focused on what the lesson is in whatever you're doing, so that you can learn to make good decisions, powerful decisions, and then from there, that drives powerful actions. Then follow it up always with that empowerment, but knowing that if it goes wrong, you can learn and improve and come back and try again.
Oh, I love that. That's very, very good. What has been your experience when sharing these steps with people? What seems to be the biggest struggle?
Well, the biggest struggle is that they're held back by what's happening. So they say, oh, I took this risk and it went wrong and everything, collapsed. And so it's about understanding that, life is going to have these challenges. There's always, we're either going into a challenge and come out of a challenge, or there'll be another challenge in the future. They're always there, right? So it's not about avoiding challenges. It's about how we respond to the challenges and how we can learn from that challenge so we can do better next time. I help primarily, small business.
Small business.
Yeah, small businessmen, because a lot of them are starting new businesses, and then they have a lot of struggles, and then they don't know what to do. They hold themselves back. So they'll come to me and they say, I also help. I'm a CPA, so I also do financial
Oh,
accounting for the books.
okay.
So it kind of goes together.
One-stop shop.
So it's kind of
The famous limiting beliefs and how to overcome those.
you have to take baby steps. You have to set yourself. What I've learned is you have to set really big goals, but then you start out taking tiny little steps. Well, that's something that it can be really, really, really small, but you get a little bit of victory. Just a tiny little victory. It gets you a little bit closer, because I was a person who had big problems with anxiety, low self-esteem, and I wasn't doing anything enjoyable. And so I know In the beginning, design can stop you to the point where you just like, no, I won't do it. So you have to get to the point where you can just say to yourself, maybe, not necessarily success, but just a maybe. Because I used to tell myself, it'll never happen. No, I can't do that. So even maybe energy just.
So you went from that point of view to now helping others. That's very interesting. What helped you through that process?
It was something about changing your perspective. It takes time. You have to train yourself to look at things differently. Because I used to always look at things and say, what can go wrong? Oh no, I'm no good at this, right? So I built, first of all, building a growth mindset that you can learn and improve from anything. One of my affirmations now is I can become whoever I choose to develop into.
You heard that. That's very powerful. I love that. Absolutely. And that's true. If Ford say whether you think you can or can't, you're right. And that is very true. And also if you think you can, you need to make the effort. That's another very hard truth as well. Without effort, it's not gonna happen.
Absolutely. You have to develop it. I mean, really, it takes a lot of work. A lot of work to become who you want to become. But if you want it bad enough, then you put in the effort to get it done.
It's gonna happen.
Commitment to
Yeah, that burning desire.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Absolutely.
I love that. That's really good.
And you have to look for your intrinsic motivation, which is something that you do it because you would do it for free. But then you could, with that intrinsic motivation, you're more motivated and driven to put it forth the effort. Because, like I said, sometimes it will be a really big challenge. And oh my gosh, do I want to? But if you're driven to do it, you'll do it.
That's your why. What is your why?
Absolutely.
And what is your why?
My why is simply that is helping people to not face what I faced, right? To overcome that, and to make the better decisions financially and otherwise, driven by their creativity and by what they love to do, and not stopped by what the fear, what might go wrong.
Very good. I love it. That's wonderful. Thank you so much for your wise advice. I'm sure the audience will be happy to learn more about you and what you offer. How can people connect with you, Robert?
I am on Facebook.
So I'm gonna put here this so you can see his name on Facebook to find you on Facebook then. Okay.
Yes.
Robert
Beaujean.
How do you spell it? So you need to spell it because that's a tough one.
It's Beauje.
Right, that's right. Okay, very good, Robert. Thank you so much for your time. And thank you for tuning in into another episode of Happiness by Habit. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye bye.